Antonio and I went to Phoenix last night, and they did the drag show as they always do on Fridays. And I was just thinking, I don't know if we talked about this, but what would be your like lip sync for your live song, or like your signature drag number for like song wise? I thought about this a lot, and I have mine.
Oh,
I thought we have an hour. You have an hour.
Yeah, I have multiple ones, but there's one in particular that I love.
I don't know. Sky, kick it off for us, because I'm trying to like. I think I have one, but I'm not happy with saying it out loud just yet.
So I have a couple that I think I've thought about throughout the years. I know Ketzel does too, because I think we've had this conversation. My number one song that I really I think it's because I've had so much practice lip singing to this song is Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Absolutely. That's my go-to.
You can do both parts.
Both parts, yeah.
You're like, I do both.
You could do the Silky Nutmeg Ganache when she did Barbie Girl, where she was like man one side, woman on the other side, and then turn.
Yep.
Now, if I may, I have some. Y'all think of it. Here's a couple I got. I got a list. I got a whole document here of
the
possible
scroll is
names.
Unraveling as they speak.
True, I have a name of at least 20 possible names I could use.
Oh, sweet. I have time to.
I have a name for a possible show. And I have a lot of songs.
Wait. Can we? Have we never talked about the Babadook thing as like a pod thing? I don't remember what song you had chosen for the Babadook.
No, we said you would do the Babadook. But what
I would
song?
never. I would never do drag. Let's be real.
I have to hear this. What was this?
I don't remember.
No.
I don't remember what the song was. Lost tapes.
Go back into your
Lost tape.
Get into your mind palace and find that shit.
While I'm talking, Antonio, go into your mind palace. So number one of songs I would lip sync to as a drag king is "The Man" by The Killers. Please. I have this one that when I told Antonio, he laughed very hard and said it was a very good idea, which is a very rare compliment I get to have. Life is a highway, but I am dressed as a transformer.
I love that one too. That one's good.
I love that one. I just had to come back from eating to say hi.
I would love to do Infinitesimal by Mother Mother. I think that's a great drag song. And then there's this one I have that like I have fully a whole idea for, and it's the Talking Head song.
Which one?
The Same as It Ever Was. That one.
Oh yeah.
What is it? Once in a Lifetime?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Yeah, Once in a Lifetime. I have a whole thing there because I feel like that song descends into madness, and I can do a lot of really cool stuff into that. Antonio, do you have any?
Not really. I barely know words to songs in general, but
you wouldn't do Number One Fan?
Okay, it's like between that, Glamorous by Fergie, or Gucci by Queen Irby.
Those
there
are
we
your.
go.
If you had asked me 3 songs Antonio would lip sync to as a drag queen, those would be the 3 I told you. Big Girls Don't Cry for the emotional number.
Where he's just sitting on a stool.
That would be a good one.
Not a stool, like Mike Wazowski.
Was no.
Dahlia?
Yeah, I think of my songs. I have one that comes to mind for sure, and it's "Don't Stop Me Now" by Queen, because I feel like it's very it for me, and I feel like creative wise, I probably could go a lot of ways with it. In fact, I could even be drag king, because why not? That seems also pretty on brand with me.
What other songs would you do, Sky? I know "The Man" is one of yours too.
I don't know. I really don't know. It's really my number one is Total Eclipse of the Heart, because you and I have been practicing that
since we were children.
We really got that one down.
We were children fucking around on Photo Booth, on the Photo Booth app.
Hey y'all, welcome to Sit Down Loser. We're watching a movie. My name's Dahlia.
I'm Sky.
I'm Antonio.
And I'm Ketzel.
And we're just four mustachioed sleuths who watch movies that everyone else has watched, except one of us is a loser who hasn't. Today, we're watching a movie that, whoa, shocker, has a murder on a train. Murder on the Orient Express, released in 2017, directed by Kenneth Branagh. And today's loser is Dahlia and Ketzel.
Mario, what's up? It's me, Mario and Luigi.
What up?
Wario and
We're both wearing
Waluigi.
overalls.
Be right. Be fucking
You know
right.
what, with the way I'm feeling, I'm very feeling very that vibe. Not the regular
The
kind,
way
the sassy kind.
The way I'm looking, I am Wario.
Like you're not looking like that all the time.
Bitch, you built like Wario.
That's a drag.
Anyways, did I say that right? Kenneth Branagh?
Oh, yes, you did.
You
Okay.
said that real good.
Branagh.
I was like, that's very, very American. Very American of me if I'm like fucking that shit up. Anyways,
Now you got it right.
so
Dolly, you're not alone.
You're not alone.
Hi.
One of them.
Welcome
One
to
of
this
them.
side, Ketzel.
I feel like I am the second person who's often on this side, so it's a familiar spot. Nice to be here with you.
It's nice to finally not be alone.
After the string of last couple movies, yeah, I'm sure.
Man, oh man. I mean, it was kind of really great to be on that side because those are great movies, but I don't know what to expect with this.
Yeah, solitary confinement is only fun for a little bit.
A little bit.
Anyway,
It's a lot
why
of
are we
it.
gonna watch this? Why did we pick this?
Tell me
It's
that.
a murder mystery, Babs.
You sure love a murder mystery, don't you?
I do.
Murder mystery and sleeper agents.
Man. It's like I love intrigue. I love enigmatic scenarios.
I love mystere and intrigue.
It's like not enough to just be on the train. There's a murder on this train.
Someone better die.
If somebody
if I'm
doesn't
on
die,
a train,
Antonio doesn't
goddammit,
watch
someone's gotta die.
Don't
If
get
I'm
on a
gonna
train
be
with
traveling
me.
on an Amtrak,
Do not get on a train with me. I may make someone die.
Noted. He's like, you know what would make this so much more interesting?
You don't make this a party.
If there was a murder,
We're like,
I know how to spice this up.
that's your special sprinkle. That's the other one in your spice.
Murder.
Murder.
We love a murder mystery, considering also we've seen Knives Out, and this seems to be a similar stacked murder cast.
Yep.
And fresh off the heels of watching Glass Onion, I'm ready for more murder and more mystery,
murder.
babe.
Murder.
Oh, I love Glass Onion.
Anyway.
Totally. I took a little
So good.
sneak peek at the cast. Just one name came out to me, so I was like, no, I'm not gonna read this. I'm gonna be surprised. But that's exciting to know. I didn't know that it was gonna be so stacked. I forget who was in it because I think I saw in 2017 because it came out around Christmas. Like that, it was a lot of actors.
Yes. I think it was it like, the Christmas movie of that year. Oh,
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
I did see it. I think I watched it. Did I watch it twice? In theaters? No, maybe I just.
It's a remake too, right? Like it's based on a book,
Yeah.
but there was an older version, right?
There is an older one. This one just has
Yes.
the 2020 Zhuzh, or this is actually 2017, so it's not 2020, but the new age Zhuzh.
Yes, for sure. And
Yeah.
I actually personally asked to kind of put this on the list for sooner because Antoine's been reading Agatha Christie books like crazy, and one of the first ones he read was the Murder on the Orient Express.
My question is the older one more beloved than the remake?
I think it may
I don't know the
be.
answer to that.
I don't think this one was. Well, we'll get to it. Yeah, I don't think this one was well received, particularly for some people. I love this movie. I enjoy it personally.
Okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, should we be watching the old one, but Kenneth Branagh? And you love it,
So-
but Kenneth Branagh?
So
And
what's
that
the deal
comes
with
to-
Mr. Kenneth?
Yeah. Why?
Our last
Why?
point.
Why is that
which-
a point?
So
Please, Sky.
Please
explain.
continue.
So, Ketzel and I's first viewing of the Oscars together was last year.
We've watched other Oscars together before.
Not like this,
even back
though.
when we were
Not like
not
this.
we watched other Oscars together, but this is the first time I think we were on one.
We both ordered pizza. As this was virtual, obviously. We both ordered pizza. I had red wine. I don't know what you were drinking, but we both got very drunk, and we were watching the red carpet stuff stream before the actual ceremony, and Kenneth Branagh came up, and Ketzel, you can take it from here, because it all happened so fast.
I forgot how much I love Kenneth Branagh, but I think I said something like, "You sit your fine ass down," and Sky was very shocked that I felt that strongly about him, and I didn't. You know what? It all comes back down to Harry Potter.
Whoa.
And now, every time Ketzel, because Ketzel kept asking Google how old Kenneth Branagh was, so now that's just a running joke between us.
Yeah, I was like, "Hey Google, how's Kenneth Branagh?" Also, he was something. I think it was Othello, and I watched that early on. Anyway, all I say, he's fine as shit.
As physically?
Emotionally. No, yeah, fucking physically. I'd spin on his dick.
Oh. Whoa. I haven't had lunch yet, Ketzel.
I think the first thing I knew him from before Harry Potter was Road to El Dorado.
Oh, as his voice? Yes, that's true. That's true.
He was
Whoa. Okay,
I was like,
saying
Harry
some very
Potter?
interesting things
I was
right
like,
now.
where is he in Harry Potter?
He's Lockhart.
Yeah, I'm realizing that. I was like, it's...
You dumb bitch.
He looks Uggo in that.
Wait, is he American?
No, he's very English.
Dude, honestly, Murder on the Orient Express is the first time I'd ever looked at him as an actor, and I didn't know. I do know that he's an actor and director. He directs this, right? This is. I think this is his love child.
He directs other things.
He
directs Cinderella.
Yeah, that's.
Wait. Which Cinderella?
The
good one.
Lily James one, the Disney one.
Oh, okay.
I love that one.
I did like that one.
I love that one. Oh my god, makes me cry every time.
Kate Blanchett.
He also directed the first Thor.
Oh, he did. He did Artemis Fowl. I didn't watch that movie mostly because I was like, that's not right that they're doing this, and they did it dirty. But you know what? Maybe I'll watch it.
Good.
It didn't look good, but maybe I'll watch it.
Doesn't mean the directing wasn't good.
Right? Maybe I'll watch it just to see what they do.
Oh shit! Did this guy just change your mind about rewatching something just because you're like?
No, watching it in the first place. The reason why I never wanted to watch it because I was like, I grew up watching Artemis Fowl. I don't.
For this actor man to have that kind of impact, though.
Acting man, that's
I can't wait to see.
To
I can't wait to see his directing chops because
clearly
I only know Road to El Dorado. So when you brought that up, I was like, but it wasn't him directing; it was his voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ooh.
Shit. Okay, as actor, there we go.
Also, real quick before we go on, he's not Uggo as Lockhart.
He is. I did not. Maybe it's the hair. I'm so sorry. It's the hair, but I hate it. It does nothing for his face.
Saying it wasn't his best makeup look.
No, he looked great.
Okay, here's what it is. Maybe for the movie, he looks very correct, but when they were swooning, because in case you've never seen Harry Potter, Gilderoy Lockhart is a celebrity wizard. He's super hot, and everyone's like, "Oh, I love him." I was like, "That's your man. That's who it is."
Antonio's in the back.
That's
and he's
mine.
Just that's it.
That's mine.
It. And then you find out, and you're just like, "What?" He does some amazing acting though.
He's a great actor.
He's a great actor.
Okay, what is he in Road
He
to El
does a
Dorado?
lot of
This is what I
Shakespeare.
did not know.
What'd you say?
He's Miguel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he said.
I haven't been paying attention because I've been reading instead.
Oh, yeah. No, that was the first thing I knew him from,
I love
and then Harry
Road
Potter.
to El Dorado.
Same.
So good.
It's so good. That soundtrack.
That was our best cosplay. Best cosplay, Sky.
Yeah.
Man, Mr. Kenneth Branagh, good soup.
Good soup. Great
That's
soup.
Sir Kenneth Branagh to you.
Delicious.
It's a sir. Is he truly a sir?
And
Yeah,
he
he's a
also
sir.
did the sequel to this,
Mhm.
and I think he wants to do another one. which after that last one, I'm like, should we though, girl?
It might be the materials, Babs. I don't know.
Leave him alone.
It's a little thin, a little watery. I mean, it's the Nile, but still.
The soup is thin.
Enough champagne to fill
The
the
emotion,
Nile.
right? The emotion's a little thin. Oh my god, this emotion's broken.
Okay, so what do we know about this movie? Not much, fam. Somebody dies on a train, and Kenneth's gonna solve it. Is he's a detective? He's the Benoit Blanc, if you will.
Is he the Hercule Poirot of this?
Yes. Hercule Poirot.
Okay. Which I guess leads into what I know, which is I know the detective's name because his name is Hercule Poirot, and that he's from Belgium, and he says some French things sometimes. And I don't know anything else. It's a murder on a train, and it's a mystery.
I can't wait.
The end.
I'm expecting
What?
twists and turns.
Oh,
And
Anastasia. That's what it was. It's a mystery, and then like my brain rattled off like notes to a song, and I was like, "Where am I pulling this from?"
Where are you, Antonio?
Everywhere.
I love when you,
Everywhere.
like, say some things, like a conversation in your head, and then you say some things out loud and expect us to know.
That's called ADHD tendencies.
No, Dahlia said it's a mystery, and like, there's the song in Anastasia, and Dimitri is like singing. And I'm trying to think. It's in like Saint Petersburg. It's like the opening song.
Did only gay people watch Anastasia?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that
So
movie.
far, based
what
off
I
of the
thought.
sample size,
All
yes.
gay people.
If you didn't want
all
both
gay people.
Anastasia and Dimitri, I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
And if
Anyway,
Anyway, the scores. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 61, audiences gave it a 54, and then Google users gave it an 82.
is this your man, Antonio?
Robbed.
oh my.
Robbed. I'm gonna say it again.
Robbed with a T. Robbed of what?
Robbed of love. Because this is honestly, I love this. I do like this movie a lot. It's like right up there with Arrival, right? Like, I think if you don't like this movie, you're kind of dumb.
Wow.
You're kind of stupid.
Whoa, that's strong.
If you don't at
Yeah,
least
that's
like
a little
this movie,
strong.
I think you're stupid. I think it's truly.
Okay.
You know what? After I finish watching this movie, I'll have my little remarks.
I will too.
I like this movie.
All right.
I don't love this movie like you did, but it was fun. I liked it.
Good.
It was all right. But
Well, this should be interesting.
I don't think.
Antonio, do you want to go over this cast?
Yeah,
okay.
who's
You
in
love this movie
Antonio?
so much.
No. Ketzel should definitely have the first bite.
Oh, I'll take a bite. Sir Kenneth Branagh, you better sit your fine ass down.
And eat this ass.
And you better come over here and let me get a little bite of that ass.
Girl, sit down and eat me as food.
Oh my god.
Sit down and eat this ass.
Sit down
Anyways,
and eat this dinner.
Joining the cast,
Come get your dinner.
we have Dame Judi Dench, who love
Yes.
her work, love her. She's fantastic.
Especially in Cats.
Y'all remember her from a little film known as
A little.
Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, I
Oh,
sure
Cutthroat.
We're back.
She's fucking
do.
cutthroat.
Episode 7.
Catherine DeBro.
Hmm?
That's her name, Antonio. I'm sorry.
What?
Are you having
That
conversations
was
with
the-
yourself again?
No, I think there was a lag.
It's fine.
All right.
Continue.
Ayup jumpscare Willem Dafoe.
That part. I can't with him.
Ketzel's
I can't with his
sleep
funky
paralysis
ass.
demon. Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe. Truly.
I will say this. Actually, no, I won't say this. We can talk.
Do you
say it.
are you attracted to him?
We'll talk about Willem Dafoe at the end of this movie. Our man, the redemptive arc, Johnny Depp, who,
No.
Ooh, I did know that he was in this movie.
yeah.
Okay.
Josh Gad.
Anyway.
Who?
Oh,
Frozen
Olaf.
Olaf. Of Frozen fame and Cinderella
It's
fame.
his Christian name, Olaf.
I'm Beauty and the Beast.
His spirit name.
Beauty and the
Olaf.
Beast.
Hi, I'm Olaf. Anyways,
Anyway.
Daisy Ridley of Rey Skywalker fame. Ooh, I saw that eye roll.
It's not her fart, Palpatine. It's not her fart.
It sure isn't her fart. It's not my fart. You were trying to say that in like a British accent?
It's not my
And it fucked up.
Please continue. I shouldn't be allowed to speak anymore.
I've been saying that.
I've been saying that for years.
Penelope Cruz, who,
Yes.
you know what? She's there.
I love Penelope.
I know, I was going to say I do too.
Yeah, I know, but in this movie, she's kind of there. I don't like. She doesn't not add. She's like the bay leaf of this cast. I'm not entirely sure.
Don't disrespect the bay leaf. I'm a kitchen wizard. I know how they work.
Yeah.
They do something.
Antonio is the kitchen warlock.
I didn't say he
He's
was.
like-
The kitchen warlord, if
Yeah,
you
I
will.
know, but like,
The warlord.
Disrespect food.
no,
The
I'm
kitchen
not.
slumlord, if you will.
That's not a
The
disrespect.
spices.
This is not a disrespect, but you know,
I took it as a disrespect. Fight.
fight. She's the bay leaf of this cast.
Fight for the spoon.
All right, who else is in here?
Penelope and Cruz.
Leslie Odom Jr.
He loves a murder mystery, it seems.
You do. He loves me in there.
He
I'm
can't
just
get
happy to be
away.
here. I'm gonna skip
Yeah.
the next one and go to Tom Bateman for a hot second. Because one,
I don't know who that is.
Tom Bateman, yum. Just yum. Just a delicious little snack. Well, not little. Just a delicious snack.
What's he in?
I remember him from
Oh, he's a nothing. Got it.
I'm like, I don't even know him.
Good one.
What a good
Damn,
burn.
dude, that was good.
Ooh, I love the energy in the chili tonight. And
This train car is getting a little too full of people.
someone's gotta die.
A little scared.
Someone's gonna die soon. But rounding out this cast, who is the absolute queen of this movie, and she's one of the reasons I love this movie, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Queen,
love her.
legend, iconic.
Tom Bateman's married to Daisy Ridley.
Oh,
For how
I
long?
need to know
Glad.
that
Good
fact.
for him.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Good for him. That's a
for
good
him.
step up.
Good for him.
Of nothing. Being married to Daisy Ridley fame.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff.
I don't know. It doesn't. It just says in January 2023, it's confirmed that they had gotten married. So I don't know.
Mazel
Wow. That means that, they worked together and then like 5 years later, 6 years later.
They fell in love.
Kiss, fall in love.
Love.
Anyway.
Anyway.
All
So-
right.
Gross.
What's my expectations and Dahlia's?
What are your
So glad
expectations?
you asked.
Thanks for asking.
Thanks for asking. I think I'm gonna like it because mostly when things have really interesting mixed reviews like this, I tend to like them. And I love murder. I love Moida. I like sleuthing.
I love crime.
I am a gamer. I do play the Nancy Drew games, so I love to be a sleuth.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Carmen Sandiego.
Is that a murder?
No, not really. This is more like a
Is it a
heist.
mystery?
She's sleuthing.
She's a sleuth.
It's not always
She's not even a
murders.
sleuth. She's
Is
I'm
Carmen Sandiego like Hercule Poirot?
Dora the Explorer.
she's a character.
Scooby Doo.
Dora sleuth. Scooby Doo
Dora-
sleuth for sure.
Absolutely.
Carmen Sandiego's
and
the
then
villain,
we
is she
can,
not?
and then I guess Sherlock Holmes, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's bottom tier for me. Dora is higher up than Sherlock.
More
Ooh,
experience.
Nope,
more
never
expertise.
mind. I won't derail one more time.
Okay.
Dahlia.
Yeah, I think that I'm gonna like this movie. Having come off again, like we talked about Glass Onion, loved Knives Out. It was fantastic. Glass Onion was great. I didn't think that I realized how much I enjoy watching mysteries because like it kind of keeps you at the edge of your seat, and I like that without being scary, you know. So I think it's gonna be super fun. I think this was like a kids type of movie, so it's not gonna be like frightening. And I am just like finally just wanting to know what the fuck this story is about so that I can finally to my other half be like it wasn't worth it or it was worth it, because I'm just like I just want to know what the big deal is, because he just keeps buying these books and I just don't know what is the big deal about the story, but I just want to know. I just want to know.
Antonio, have you read these books? I haven't.
No, I haven't read
I
them
kind of want
either.
to though.
Yeah, I would definitely read them. Actually, you know what? I don't read many mystery books.
I have one in French. Would you like to borrow it?
I will never finish it. I will probably never finish it. That is probably what would happen. So I will not.
It's written so hard, so don't worry about it. I started like first 5 pages. I was like, ooh.
Oof. That's me and fucking books that are hard to read are like, you know, that Brief Interviews book. I keep trying to like put a code up and it's like, no, it's not working. It's not, the book isn't booking.
You know, I might not like this because I am stupid.
Don't say that about my friend.
I'm realizing.
I think
think-
you guys will enjoy this.
I think it's
fun.
something, it's like, it's not complicated. It's not some massive, like, when they say things, it like lines up. If you can like, you know, follow point A to point B, that's it. That's all you gotta do.
Keep that notebook ready, okay?
Get that bubble
Keep
map
the
ready.
motherfucking thing on me. Let's
Let's
sign
solve
off.
this
Can we just
mystery.
sign off?
All right. Be right
Bye.
back.
Yeah.
Bye.
Au revoir. Wow. That sure was murdery. That sure was not expressed. Or
And
expressed.
trainy.
Is training.
It do be on a train.
It was
Those train
on a
goers
train.
could run a train on me.
Oh. Oh. Wow, coming back from that, I really, really liked it.
Oh, I love that movie. I'm so happy to have watched it.
Now, Ketzel, on the other hand.
Are you
I didn't
stupid,
love
Ketzel?
it.
Are you
It turns
stupid?
out it's not that I'm stupid. I understood. I just didn't love it. For reasons that don't really have anything to do with specific plot points. I'm happy to talk about it now.
Or do we want to save
you
that
know-
for the end?
Sure, let's do that. But it was good. Just it didn't hit the G spot, if you know what I mean.
But
That's kind
Mr.
of how
Hercule
I feel about
Poirot?
it. I didn't hate it. It was good. It was alright.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. Cat Brana though.
I think I didn't see it until the very end. I was like, oh, he's
Ooh.
looking kind of hot. Like right now when he's like, J'accuse. And then I'm like, keep talking.
Again, maybe because I've seen him in like Shakespeare films. He was in something else. I know
Hamlet.
Othello for sure. Thank you. He was in Hamlet.
I've
and
never
he's
seen
all
it,
like
but
very
he's-
very passionate and like, and I was like, if I could just choke on your dick one good time, sir, that's all I need.
That's
Just
nice,
once.
Ketzel.
They say romance is dead.
You went woof 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 and then basically just ate the whole life. That's you. Say his dick.
Listen, if you give a dog a bone, am I right?
All right,
Oh
so
my.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I was
You cried,
I
so
cried. I
cry?
had
Oof.
one ugly cry, and then the rest of it as it went, I was like,
a soft cry.
Very nice.
It's that score. It's that
Very
that
nice.
piano medley for sure.
That Chester
I
really
will
really
say-
put his whole
He put his whole self
He put his
into this.
his whole ass toe beans on every single like key.
Chester is literally a cat. You can say Chester put his whole pussy into it.
I know. I
His
was
whole
thinking.
self.
I was like, should I say that? But I like
That's
the toe
why.
beans better.
Because self is a put. He's a
He's a
pussy.
puss.
Yeah, that's why you can say it. You guys are like, he put his whole into it. His
He's
whole
a child, Antonio.
He's a baby.
He's a child. He's a baby.
He has
I'm not
no
gonna talk
sexual
about-
organs. They don't
I like
He's
exist.
the
a literal
toe beans.
pussy cat.
He put his whole
toe bean. Toe bean.
His whole being into it.
He's put his whole fucking beat into it. Yeah, the soundtrack was fucking buzzing. I didn't want to talk about that.
Absolutely.
There's a couple things that were bussy about this. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, soundtrack, all that, but
Let's get
Just 'cause-
into it though.
yeah.
Let's get into
You know what?
this plot.
Antonio, take us through. This is your child.
All right.
You made this. You directed this.
Hi, this episode brought to you by Hercule Poirot, who solves a crime in Jerusalem, which quickly establishes the fact that he's a world-renowned detective and how good he is at it. Having like
Good mustache.
like good mustache. Also, I forgot about this, but hots for the cop at the beginning, and then I was like, oop, no more hots for the cop. But also, a little sad.
Hey,
Did you guys not see him? He was a fucking good-looking cop.
I was too busy jacking it off.
Oh, I okay.
So
I
fucking
don't
Kenneth
agree
Branagh.
with that. I was
To the
pointing at
fucking
you.
shoe brush above his mouth.
No, bruv. I was just like, I was hooked up on the point that the cop, like, he was like, hey, put somebody on the south gate. And then I'm like, why did he say that, though? Because the cop did it. And I was like, hey, cab. Hey, cab. But it was great. I was just like, oh. Like, he's really good. He's really good. They're just like, how do you take shit out of your ass? Like, how do you just get things out of thin air? And he's like, I need a
How you take shit
vacation.
out your ass.
He's like, I need a
I can-
vacation.
What's that?
I can see the future.
He pulled it out of his ass. Excuse. Anyway, he's
He
like,
pulled
I
it
need to
out of
have a
his
vacation.
mustache. That big-ass fucking mustache.
Let me tell
Which-
you about his mustache. I'm not even gonna wait till the costuming. Okay, like, I did not love the mustache.
That was a costume.
I
You didn't
like.
love the mustache.
I like the idea of the mustache. I just didn't like the practical effect of the mustache itself. Until he
So-
got raggedy, then I was like,
I guess.
we love a disheveled
like,
man here.
So, the Agatha Christie, or at least the Murder on the Orient Express, has been like remade like a literal dozen times. And Agatha Christie, before she had passed away, saw one last one, and she really, really loved the version. But her one thing was the subtlety of Hercule Poirot's mustache.
Okay,
That
like, she
was-
wanted
that was-
it to be subtle.
She wanted it less subtle. She was like, it was supposed to be more avant-garde, I would assume.
Very
Oh,
like.
well, they took
obvious.
that and ran with it.
They went.
Kenneth
all the way
Branagh
to
was
his
like,
cheek,
say
bruv.
less. Huh?
It went all the way
Well,
to his fucking
listen.
cheek, bruv.
I'm all about all types of sensation when he is deeply in my ass. So
All right. But also, you guys, or I know Dahlia said she's going to watch the second one. You will see why that mustache is that way. It's like
is
the
it-
only. It's
is it origin story.
You know, I need to rewatch that because I did like that part of the movie. I thought that was kind of.
I don't care for the second one that much.
Anyway, I would watch the second one. I would watch the second one.
I think it's one of those movies where it's like, yeah, watch it at least once and just see. If you like this one, the first one, well enough, then the second.
I wasn't a really big fan of the very obvious mustache at the end. He needs a vacation. He's just like, I'm fucking done with this shit. He's like, I gotta go. And
Mama
so,
needs a vacation.
Mama needs
to
vacation.
sleep.
Mama
And while
needs
she's
her
on
juice.
vacation, she sees Playboy, fuckboy, get out of here, boy, Book, Monsieur Book, who is a
Hot.
longtime friend,
Golden
played
Retriever
by Tom
energy.
Bateman. Golden Retriever energy, but on coke.
Himbo energy.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Big himbo. Big himbo.
Big himbo.
Big
Yeah,
himbo.
yeah. He's like, is that a prostitute? He's like, yeah.
Yes. And she's
He's
like, yes,
like-
I am a prostitute.
It's so good to
He's
meet
like,
you.
I love sex workers and I'm not racist, but I am a big dum dum. And that is himbo energy.
That's
Him.
him.
It surely is.
It's perfect. I liked him even though he was kind of a dummy, but yeah, that was really fun meeting him.
He is fun. He's big fun in this one. He's so like sweet and stupid, and he's like, he says that thing where he's like, Hercule tells me about all of his cases, and I do all these terrible things, and I don't care, and he doesn't care. So they make such a great like pair.
Yes. Apparently, also in the books, and I couldn't get this info from Antoine because he couldn't remember, but like most of the books are told in somebody else's point of view about Poirot. So it's not Poirot talking. I'm assuming because most of the books he's talked to me about are like this, that Book is the one talking, narrating for Poirot.
Interesting.
Oh,
I didn't know that. I would have assumed
That's
it was
cool.
from Poirot's point of view. That's
I
interesting.
find that very...
No, I
it's-
feel like that sounds very right though. Like
Yeah,
you
but
would
because
never.
he's there, he doesn't really do anything.
Yeah,
Like Poirot
He-
also like speaks what
it's like
he's
Moby Dick
thinking
nonsense.
and drops all those hints, right? So like as the narrator, Book is like watching him, and I think some parts of the descriptive parts of it is like he's a wild little man, like he's a man with a mustache. Like there's a lot of explaining about him that I think can't be done in first person point of view. So let's keep that in
Exactly.
mind. I'm not entirely correct. This is not a podcast of correctness, but that sounds
Never
really,
has been.
that sounds
Never will
really
be.
cool.
It's neither facts nor caps in this podcast. It's just talking. No, but that really does make sense. Because like trying to like pen down like a perspective for someone who's supposed to be as like intelligent or like acute or just as smart as Poirot seems like a terrible like author's choice, I would think, and more like giving someone a lens is better for it. It's like Moby Dick for Ismail and Ahab.
Yeah, it's
Not that
told.
I've ever read.
It's told by the whale.
I've never read Moby
Yo,
Dick.
could you imagine Moby Dick told by the whale? I can't even imagine Moby Dick told by like anyone. Because
Yo,
I've
this
never read
guy's
it.
after me though.
Yo, why is he obsessed with me?
Now that
Uh,
I want to read.
I
I'll
would
read that fan fiction.
You
First,
could
let me
rate
read
that.
Moby Dick, and then we can maybe determine whether or not Moby Dick's point of view is important. Okay, so while they're having this conversation in Istanbul, no,
They called
where
it
are
Istanbul, but I
they? No,
don't
they're
think-
on their way to Istanbul.
Oh, then I don't know.
In the
Jerusalem.
the
They're in
thing.
Jerusalem
I guess they're still in Jerusalem.
and leaving.
Maybe he's somewhere else. Maybe he's in Morocco, just vibing out in Morocco.
They're in a place.
They're in a place, and some British courier who's dressed all dapper and everything, like he's straight out of the rainy streets of London, is like,
I'm
I'm here for you, Mr. Poirot. And Poirot is like, I don't even need to read the telegram. It's about this case. And Book, who's the conductor of a train, or is he a conductor or direct?
No, his uncle owns the train, and he's just swinging by because he's a jet setter.
He's a jet setter.
He's a Delta Diamond, basically.
He's there because he can. That's it. That's
He's
it.
there because he can be. Lucky. Nepotism babies, you have it all. We hate you, but we want to beat you.
They had a good line about nepotism, but I'm going to save that for a quote.
And so Book gets him on the Orient Express so that way he can get to London for this. And as they're preparing, all these people are revealed. It's not just the wealthy widow Hubbard or the Russian passenger princess Dragomirov, the ballet count and countess Andreni, and Daisy Ridley plays Mary Debenham, a governess, and Dr. Arbuthnot is a black doctor, the racist Professor Hardman, and a American businessman by the name of Edward Ratchet.
And also,
There's a couple of things. Go ahead.
Sorry. And also, the train is full. Like, Book managed to get Poirot on the train because some bitch missed his flight or his train ticket. So he wasn't even supposed to be on this train. He got a magic seat.
It's movie magic. Also, there's a couple of things that happen. We are shown that the count and countess, or the count, is kind of a crazy person. He's kind of like ready to fight at all points. The governess, Mary Debenham, and Dr. Arbuthnot are like in cahoots for some small thing. They're like, oh, we're in love, but we can't be, not until we're free, blah, 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 blah. And the widow, Mrs. Hubbard, or Madam Hubbard, flirts with Poirot because she's husband hunting abroad.
That's what
Someone
you guys
else,
want to do.
I would love to. I don't even know about
I
hunt.
would
I
love
just
to.
would. I would just love to be abroad. I would.
I
like
want
to
to hunt.
I also want to hunt humans for sport.
Okay, dangerous game. Calm down there. So,
Okay. Zodiac killer. We got the Zodiac
Anyway.
killer and a cannibal on this podcast. Can you believe?
Can you believe?
oh my god.
What a
Allegedly.
collab.
Allegedly.
Lots of characters.
Lots
So
of
many.
them.
Lots of
Stacked
characters.
cast. Stacked cast. This deck
would
is.
say
Stack
It's-
cast.
It's so hard to follow because there's just so much happening. It's like you got to
So
look
many
every direction
characters.
to find out, what's happening. It's called Murder on the Orient Express. You're like, something's going to happen. I got to pay attention.
Something
some
specifically.
clue stuff.
Murder.
Murder. And I just love that Hercule, like, during this point, he's already eavesdropped like 2 or 3 times, which is like so that's so like him. And for good reason, because we see Ratchet and he approaches Hercule and he's like, look, you got to protect me because somebody's after me. I've been getting these
That's
weird-
Johnny Depp, by the way, and I really think that's very important to any further talks about Ratchet.
You are so right. Because the
'cause
message is
he's a-
between us.
He's a mess and disgusting and got dirty money, and you know what? I don't like the look of him.
And
I don't
neither
like the
did
look of
because
him.
Johnny Depp is in the role.
Neither did Poirot. He's like, I don't like your face. And he's like, fuck you. I'm not going to help you. I help people who are innocent, and you're not innocent. So he walks
I can
away.
see you. I can see it. And he sees it on his face. So he walks away from any sort of like dealings with Ratchet.
Pause real quick. Antonio, may I ask, who's your favorite character in this?
Michelle Pfeiffer,
Got it.
Madam Hubbard.
Is that everyone's favorite character?
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at
That's
her.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Because that was also, I'm like, all these characters, and not a single one of them interesting.
I was actually gonna ask about like
except for Michelle Pfeiffer.
Except
I
for
would say
Michelle Pfeiffer.
excluded.
mother can eat. I don't know. I can't. I
She
don't
left
know this
no
language.
crumbs.
Mother 8 is how you
Mother-
say it, Antonio. Please.
I'm not gonna do this. I'm too old. I was born in the wrong century. for
You're
this
the one that
nonsense.
started.
I tried. I really tried. It was in an effort to, I don't know,
Oh,
connect.
You can
With
say
you.
Addie,
Who?
but you can't say that. Right.
No, I can't say Addie either.
You just said.
I mean, I can say it like physically, but it pains me. It's like making a Horcrux.
We agreed to leave Harry Potter behind.
We did.
You know what? I also thought that I could connect with y'all, so maybe I won't leave it behind.
So anyway, in the middle of the night, some strange happenings occur on the train, and an avalanche, who knew this would happen? Wow. Derails the passenger train, stranding the occupants. Dun, dun, dun. Literally, like, worst nightmare status. Like, that's just awful.
That's like
I can't fathom.
And so everyone's like, yo, what the fuck? And then they find out in the morning that Ratchet is dead. Totally not
Bye,
a
bitch.
shocker. We were just talking about how he's like totally disgusting, gross.
he's
So
like,
we're
I want to live.
good
And
tin
Hercule's like,
riddance.
I don't think you will.
He was like, die.
And so he did.
Uh,
It was great.
it's fantastic.
So
It's called Just Desserts.
after a number of clues are unearthed, because Poirot is just like, fuck, like, looking around, he brings a good old doctor to come check, and he's like, yep, he's dead. And we're like, whoop. So that leaves a bunch of evidence to be collected, and we find out that Ratchet is actually a murderous kidnapper named Cassetti. Dun dun dun. We already knew he was bad news. I knew you
But
were
not a murderer, though.
trouble when you walked in.
And especially not a child murder.
And he was a
So the
child
one thing
murderer.
worse than a rapist.
There's one. A child.
It was just so sad. Cassetti, he ends up being tied to a really fucked up ass case that Poirot never was able to take because he got the letter too late. And basically it was like a kidnap and murder of a young girl by the name of Daisy Armstrong, and that unsolved case resulted in the death of her innocent nursemaid Suzanne. So like it was just all bad around. Like mom, who was with child, got the bad news that she was murdered. She died because she went to premature labor, and so did that baby.
Died.
And then dad couldn't handle, so he unfortunately unalived himself. And
He
then
had like
they had to
1,300
point.
reasons.
It was just awful. And like the maid got, all the, you have to point fingers at somebody, right? Like the cops always want to be like, somebody did it, we got to solve this case. That happened to be the maid, and she also unalived herself because she just couldn't take it. It was just all like sad news all around. So Poirot was just like, it still haunts me to this day. Anyway, the investigation continues, and nearly all the passengers and operators are revealed to be involved in some way to the Armstrong family. Dun dun dun. All these happenings are so crazy. He's like, I could tell you're lying.
That's a lot.
Blah blah blah. So I don't know. What was the most like shocking, uncovered connection for you guys?
Before the big one. What was the
Josh Gad being really butch. That was really surprising to me.
Ooh.
But connections in the movie.
I like that
That's
observation
tougher.
though.
A little tougher.
Started making coffee and toast at some point, so I don't remember a lot. So mine would be the end.
No wonder you weren't
Mine-
writing.
Nope.
I was hungry, and I really wanted hot
Okay.
coffee. I don't know.
How far are we going in? Because there's a lot of stuff that was
Just
uncovered
not
that
the
was-
last one.
Okay, that was mostly surprising near the end. Now, interesting uncovering.
It wasn't jump scare Willem Dafoe.
Well, he wasn't. His uncovering was neither here nor there. His whole being there was a jump scare indeed. I
think it was the sister. For me, I'll just say
I
it.
was
It's the
gonna
sister.
say
the reveal.
Because she was kooky, and the idea that she's a sister, I was like, oh.
She was kooky and drugged up, and then it's revealed the reason why she's kooky and drugged up and just fucked up all around is because, well, her sister, her niece, and her mom and her brother-in-law all offed themselves or passed away in some capacity, or whether off the grid or not, and that was like a lot. And so, honestly, relatable. I too would be coked up with my rich husband and just like not want to be around people. He was the only one that I was like, bro, you're just here to be here.
Yeah, I think, because they were at the moment the most suspicious, and then getting that sort of well, this makes sense why you would have done it, was a more satisfying reveal.
It was.
If that makes sense.
It was tasty.
I love that everybody was just made out to be a liar. He's like, but you kind of lied about that though. And then everyone's like, wait, what? I can't. And I think Daisy Ridley's character, that's what is it, Debenham?
Yeah, Mary Debenham.
She was the least convincing. I'm just like, bitch, I know you got something to hide. I'm like,
Because she was the only one. She's like, I don't even care. I don't even care. I just, my side.
And
She's
we
even at the beginning. She's like, there's no
know
laws
what
against my
you
silence. Girl, we already know you're guilty of something.
It's like,
She didn't even try.
Yeah, you're acting so shady. It's like, we know that you're connected with Mr. Doctor Man there. That ain't no thing.
I think I was more interested, not so much in I wasn't as into the case itself, which I think was part of the problem for me during this. But I was interested in the dynamics of race in here that were apparently added that weren't even there in the book. But I think that to me was very interesting. Like them all gang up on Marquez.
Right. Which may not have even been the case, because like I don't think that there was like any race layered on top of these characters, because Agatha Christie, her time on Earth was like late 1800s, like 1890s or something, until the 1970s. And so she lived a pretty long life, wrote a lot of books. At the time that she was living in England, she's from England, there was like a war going on, I think the First World War, which happened in like Belgium, which ultimately resulted in like Belgian refugees going to other places, including England. So she based the character Hercule Poirot like kind of historically, which is really cool to think about that. But like thinking about that time too, I don't know, like, and I didn't read the book either. And from what Antoine told me, there was no like, you know, black doctor or like Latin chauffeur or something like that. So that was
there's no types of like American racism put into that like perspective.
Well,
I'm
there
not sure
was
about
racism against Leslie Odom Jr. and he was not American in this, right?
No, he was he was from he was from England. He had an English accent.
Yeah, so like this is just racism in general, not American like stuff. But like even just like when they're talking to Josh Gad and it's like, you know, they're doing their sleuthing, and at the very end he's racist and Kenneth Branagh is like, well, we were almost there. I liked him up until then.
Yeah.
Like I was just interested in how that to me was what I think
that's what you wanted
like,
to.
I dug more.
That's what you cared about during this.
Well, that I thought was interesting.
Yeah, that was added into the movie.
Yeah.
Interesting choice. I wondered, and I haven't looked up any articles, like, what was the big grief that you guys had seen about this movie not being good? Like, we know the audience scores in the Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't know.
Have you looked into it, Antonio?
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't. I didn't care enough to. I was like, I just like the movie. I like the movie for it being a movie. Like, I don't care that it was a book. I don't care that it's the 15th iteration of something. I don't care that, you know. I just like the murder mystery part of it. I love the idea of the setting. Like, even if this was just, like, literally a murder mystery on a train, I think I'd just be happy. It's like the same thing with fucking Clue. You know.
God,
Clue's great.
Clue's so good.
Clue's
it's on our
so
list.
good.
I
Clue's
hope
so
that's
fucking
Halloween
That's
this
a
year.
murder movie. I think the reason why I was reading as I was watching this, I think part of the reason they didn't like it was just simply they thought it was an unnecessary remake. I don't know if we can get any more specific than that without me doing some reading.
If they think it's
everyone really liked the
I've never
other
seen
one.
any of the other ones. I've never seen them. So if they're unhappy with it, then I mean, I suppose that's the same thing. It's
well,
like,
the biggest one is the one from the 70s, and Mama, we fucking there's some heavy hitters there. It was also a stat cast. And before that, like the one, there was like another one too. It just
there's
they
like
just didn't think it was
15 different
necessary.
versions,
Yeah.
whether it's parodies or SNLs. That's why I'm just like, this is just another murder mystery movie for me. If you are trying to say like you're watching it because of it's being Agatha Christie, then good for you. But I was just like, cool. I could watch the other one and probably be just fine, even though I'm going to assume that it ends the exact same way.
Yeah, it's the same story.
I'm going to assume
it better be.
Who knows? I don't know. It's kind of like Clue. Maybe we can watch it and all like stop at different parts.
Yeah, so actually what Antoine also told me is that actually maybe I should wait until we get to the rest of it, but there was some people who were not involved
in this movie, like not
In the book?
in the plot of the whole thing of the whodunit.
Oh, that's cool. The whodunit of it all.
So as we
to
continue,
go back to
oh
the
no,
plot.
you can go.
No, yeah. As we go back to the plot, Madam Hubbard is stabbed in the middle of an interrogation of McQueen, who has done some really naughty things and even ended up with like a chase scene. And was wait, I must have messed up this summary last night. I was drunk.
No, Madam. Madam.
Oh, she
Hopper
is
was
stabbed. She was stabbed in order to whatchamacall, pull suspicion away from McQueen, played by Josh Gad, our Butch King of this movie, I guess.
Apparently.
Apparently.
You don't even sound like Josh Gad right now. Your
It's a
voice is
short
so deep.
race, but it's a race nonetheless, I guess.
Oh my.
Anyways, so and whilst aggressively interviewing Ray Debenham, Poirot is shot by Dr. Arbuthnot, who confesses to the whole crime of the murder and tries to put it all on himself.
That was a very big red herring. I was like, wait, what?
There were so many red
herrings. She did that, and now you and what's happening?
Very Scooby-Doo.
Very
Very
Scooby-Doo. All of these people, all this obfuscation everywhere, you know. I think it's what I enjoyed is just like every time he's like confronting someone, it's like, oh no, something else happened.
Sorry,
and
I
that's
just
what I
turned
love
on my
about murder
shredder.
mysteries.
I'm like, the fuck is that? You vacuuming?
That's how much Sky does not care for this movie.
Just like
It's like,
All right,
because
sit
I don't
down.
hate it. I just don't. I don't know. It was all right.
It's all right. We all have those movies.
it's okay.
We'll
Answer.
discuss. Anyway, but yeah, red hair, it's like, you done it. Wait a second. No, you. No, you. No, you. And so now.
Enough
Yeah,
being
so
enough.
It's Leslie Adam Ginger.
Hercule drags all of the passengers to present two possible explanations in this tunnel as they're trying to get the train back onto the tracks and finally get everyone home, or wherever they're going to, actually.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? Do what you will.
I mean, I will say I love the idea of the Orient Express itself. Wherever they started from, Istanbul, all the way to where they were going, ended up in Calais. So literally, it's going across like a very long stretch of land. So I mean, if that is a real train, that sounds like a fucking sick ass train. Not gonna lie.
Right?
NGL.
Not gonna lie.
I love geography.
So Hercule presents two possible scenarios. An unknown assailant snuck onto the train, killed Ratchet Seti, and disappeared into the night. Or all of the passengers are accomplices, each of them having deep ties to the Armstrong case. And in concert, they murdered Ratchet City and did all this stuff in order to confuse Poirot in order to get away with them killing him.
Is that where we get to that Caesar scene? I was rolling.
It was...
Okay.
I've never seen
So, like-
such a poignant murder scene. It's like, this is right.
The thing
But it
is,
did keep going.
it was very emotional. Okay, like
It was
everybody
super emotional.
Everybody
Dude.
was lined up in
Dude.
the tunnel, like Last Supper style, as Sky said.
You're...
He was-
No, actually, it is in... It's not just Last Supper style. It's literally, like, shot for shot Last Supper. Linda Arden is in the spot where Jesus would be, and Judas's seat is empty. It's like...
I didn't know that. That's amazing. And I thought that was so incredible because, like, up until this point, right, he's presenting, like, all of this. He's pointing at every single person, and he's giving us, the viewer, like, just, you know, plausible, like, it could be you to everybody. Like, I think it was at this point that we discovered, finally, that everybody had an attachment in some way to this murdered child. And
Even the conductor...
even the conductor.
Even the conductor, whose sister was the one who was wrongfully framed, or wrongfully,
Framed, no.
prosecuted.
There you go.
Wrongfully prosecuted, and ended up killing herself. So they literally
And-
all have something to do with it.
But what was interesting, and what I was going to say before is, like, Antoine said that Michelle, the conductor, and the doctor, Arbuthnot, they were not involved in the book, the original book. So
That makes
but
sense
everybody
for
else
the
was.
doctor to not be involved, mostly because the fact that doctors are not supposed to kill people, and if you're really a doctor and not a
who said
movie
that?
doctor, you're not supposed to kill anyone. But
Well, this scene killed me for this reason. I know this is supposed to be emotional, but the idea of them just taking turns and handing the knife oh so gently just killed me. It's just like, oh, you want to take a hit now? Like, it just fucking killed me. And it was like the poignant music also over it. Just imagining
you're
Johnny
a
Depp.
clown.
Imagining Johnny Depp just like, stop, he's already dead. He's mincemeat at this point. He just keeps stabbing him. It's so funny to me.
Let's set that up too. Is like after he was pointing his fingies, Poirot was pointing his fingies at every fucking body. He's like, it can't be just one person. It can't even be a pair of people. It has to be all of you at once. So as Antonio said,
a train of people
in concert, everybody took a stab at Caesar. Like the whole scene was set up as this. The whole like. It was like a play. Like you saw it in black and white in like little frames that we hadn't seen before, and we saw like, you know, Daisy Ridley's character running away, like all the stuff that we'd seen. We're like, so they all work together to do this. And then in the middle of the night, they go into Johnny Depp. What did you call him? Ratchet Setty.
Yeah.
Setty's room, and they're just like, shh, keep it safe, keep it secret. And they drugged him, and then they covered his mouth, and then everyone's like, all right, everybody take a stab. And one by one, each character goes, wham! And I'm like,
not even get multiple knives. We're all going to use the same fucking knife. That's also what killed me.
I think it's I think it's more poetic.
I know so
it's not logistical at all, obviously, but there were much easier ways to kill this man.
Oh, for sure.
It's just the meaning.
It's the fact that it's Johnny Depp too, I think.
And I think that's what
You're
got
such a
me.
clown.
That's where I cried, is because like I was upsetty spaghetti to hear like that they were all together as a group like planning this vengeance. It was incredible and amazing, and like
good for them.
It really hit me, all because
now I know not to include you two in any sort of like, you know, premeditated murder revenge plots.
I'll be down. It depends who it is. I'll be down. Tell me what I need to do.
This clownery. I want no clownery in my poetic murders.
I'll be like, dude, why are we only using one knife? You'd be like, it's poetic.
You're like, it's
symbolism. It's symbolism.
But dude, they were all in vengeance because of the death of this one little child that brought so much joy into their lives. They all loved this little child so much.
It's really important. Like, really, I don't know.
Like set it off, man. And that's where I cried anyway. But like, let's talk about this wig moment.
The brilliant reveal is Linda Arden, Daisy's grandmother, Sonia/Elena's mother, has been acting as the flirtatious widow Hubbard, and she confesses masterminding the entirety of the plot and dramatically threatens both Poirot, and then turns to actually try to kill herself instead, because she's like, everyone else can be free, they can live their lives now that he's gone and our justice is done, I can die happy, blah 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 blah. And Michelle Pfeiffer left no crumbs.
Like, he said, you'll have to kill me if you want to all walk away from this as free people. He's like, I have a strong sense of justice. Like, I will tell the police upon arrival, and the only way to stop me is to kill me. And so she does.
Sounds like somebody I know.
She points the gun. What?
If you want to stop me, you're gonna have to kill me.
No, that you can't lie.
Yeah.
So if me and Quetzal and Antonio do something bad, you're like, don't tell me, because I won't lie.
Exactly.
You know what? I think I am realizing if there's going to be any poetic murders, I have to do it by myself. I've just concluded.
I know. I was like, you really want to include me in that, Antonio? Because like, I will probably, if I did even get into being part of your murder concert,
your murder club,
then I would have to lie, which is really like against what I am about. I'm a terrible liar.
Yeah, and I would probably drop something on accident, so you can count me out. I'm there. I would love to. I'm clumsy. I think Sky would be perhaps the best accomplice here.
You're
gonna try to eat the body.
I think doing it by myself is literally the only way this will be done.
She's like, let me just have a nibble.
You're like, that looks tasty.
It's like, hey, I'd asked you to murder with me. Like, you could do whatever you want. Like, cannibal or not. Do your thing, girl.
You leave too many fingerprints and mouth incision stuff.
Unless they eat
You're
the entire body.
Mom, and left no crumbs.
No crumbs.
So at this point, like, we're just like, fuck, like, everybody fucking did it. Somebody's trying to get the rap for it. Like, Hercule Poirot's like, I'm gonna go sit down. So he's like, this is some fucking shit. He almost got shot.
Y'all got me fucked up.
You all got me fucked up. Like, there's no way that we can do this right. And he decides that he's just gonna live with the secret of it. And when they stop at the next station, now that the train is finally on its merry way, he tells the authorities that someone killed accidentally. Someone killed Ratchesetti and disappeared. That's it. And then everyone else gets to live the rest of their lives in peace, including Linda Arden.
Like,
as is
everybody, I don't know. I thought it was really, like, insane, like, and so out of character for him, but at the same time, I think he recognizes, like, because sometimes he's always like little gray cells, like, think with your little gray cells type of shit, and he's not humanized. But then he's like, this is people who are hurt, like, hurt people hurt one person. And like
hurt Johnny Depp.
Hurt people.
So he's like,
look,
look,
you know what? I will turn on the other way.
I can live with I'll try to live with the imbalance. And it's like, so we all leave here and try to live with that peace. And he's like, I'm leaving. So he gets off the train because the train is still fucking going all the way to fucking Calais. He's just like, bye.
Everyone's like, I gotta go. We gotta get to, where is it? Istanbul. There's Turin. There's
Turin.
There's a couple of other places. Turin. I don't know. But as he's leaving in a motor car with the British escort, he's on his way to assist with a case of a death on the Nile River. Which is kind of funny because continuity broke in there because...
I was like, when that was said, I was like, that's not what happens though.
It's not. It's a continuity break, but the secondary one, it, like, you know, it's just minor things. Stuff that you can live with.
Does it just happen serendipitously on the...
Yes.
On the boat?
Just like it was serendipitous here, like him being on that train. Mr. Harris isn't a real character. Like, didn't check in. The reason why he was able to get on that guy was not real. He was supposed to be like a scapegoat name. But because he's being asked to help with a case in London, he happens to get on this train, and there happens to be that murder that was already planned by everyone. And instead of them getting away with it, you know, without anyone knowing, now he's in the know. Only two people know. God and Hercule Poirot.
Wasn't that just so crazy that he's like, I'm comparable to God? He's like, God and me.
I was like, if me and God had a competition at making the perfect human being, I would have already lost because God made me.
That's a really big insult, my friend.
Got him. The end.
The end.
All right.
Fiend.
Dahlia, Ketzel, was it worth a watch?
No, start with Ketzel.
You say as you cock your gun. No. Listen, as worth a watch for, like, how do I want to phrase this? I liked it. I didn't love it. Therefore, well, I guess that's the later question. Would I recommend it? I'm glad to have seen it because I always like to see things that my friends like. I'm always fascinated by that. I think just for this, I didn't connect with any character very much. And not like no one was particularly compelling to me other than Mr. Brana, Sir Brana. I thought he was a fantastic character, but everyone else I was like, and maybe that's why I was not as invested in the case itself, was just because the characters weren't as I wasn't as into them. And as for like the case, before the case with the murder child, there's also just because that gets introduced in the middle, I also felt like not much connection to that either. And I was thinking, I'm like, it would have been like at least to sort of have that emotional point if they had shown like in the beginning, like that night that she disappears or something, right? and then you cut to like this whole other thing, and then we come back to that in the middle. Something where you have that connection, right?
Well, you know it's important at the beginning.
Yeah, something, because like it just I was like, oh, there's also this other random very famous case, and I was like, okay. And that became the whole thing that like pushed the, you know, their whole motive. But I don't know, I just wasn't invested. I liked the writing.
Fair.
I liked our main character. But yeah, I don't know, I just wasn't as invested in it.
It was a
And
case
that is
within
the
a
best.
case.
That is the best way I can
So-
explain why.
You're invested in a tiny hobbit who just wants to live his life, then goes on an adventure, and a dwarf king with no kingdom more than any of these
Yeah.
people whose lives were destroyed by the death of a child.
Yes. No,
You
it's
forget
not.
the
It's
Ketzel
not.
lives in the fantasy.
No, it's just like. Well, I was also trying to think of like with like Knives Out. I'm like, well, why was I more invested in like those characters, for example,
'Cause
right?
they were more interesting.
Or-
Well, yeah, they were complex.
Yeah, it's not. It's like you can't compare like. It's not that like, oh, I don't care about a child murder, so that's why I wasn't like you're making a straw man argument there. Like that's not what it is. I just like I think it was maybe because there were so many of them that I wasn't able to really spend time and connect with one of them. And like the one I was very interested in, Daisy Ridley, she was like, I'm not going to talk to you. So like there was not as much with her. Michelle Pfeiffer was great, but I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. I just didn't connect. I don't know what to say. It's not that like I didn't care about the case at hand.
Wait,
Like,
so
they
then
weren't
where's the
fleshed
difference
out
in
enough?
this versus Clue?
Exactly. And I'm like, well, why did I like Clue? And I think also there's less people to work with, I think. And that's
Yeah,
a
this
comedy, though. Comedy's different.
Yeah, this was not a comedy. This was a
No, this isn't comedic at
drama
all.
and
I mean, the only comedies
No.
are one-liners,
mystery.
deadpan one-liners.
No, like, I'm supposed to be very emotionally connected. Like, for example, like, we take Knives Out. You emotionally connect with the victim himself because he was so likable and you loved him and you're upset that he's dead. And then you're also invested in his relationship with the person, you know,
closest
he was
to
friends
him,
with.
right?
Right. And then we can't compare it to Clue because that's a comedy, so like they don't have to be that fleshed out. It's just funny, right? And it's quick. This, like, I wasn't. Maybe it's because they weren't as fleshed out. It was just like we're saying who we are, but it wasn't.
That's
You mean,
Yeah.
what? How long?
that's
was the
what it
movie?
was
Like,
for
Two hours?
me.
It's like we're saying these connections. Like Judi Dench is the godmother, right? And it's like, okay, like we're just saying these things, but I don't feel that emotional connection to her grief as the godmother. You know, like. We're saying this. I think the sister was the one I was most interested in because I'm like, that's fucked up, and we're seeing how fucked up she is now, right? She's addicted to drugs. That I'm like, that was fleshed out. That I could see her pain,
The
but I didn't
dramatic
feel that with
reveal.
the other ones. You know what I mean? Does that make more sense?
That does. That's fair.
You know, like don't like. I'm not saying I don't care about fucking child murder. Like that's stupid. I just like it's Sky. Like they just weren't as fleshed out to me.
So Dahlia, worth a watch? Oh yeah. I think it was worth the watch. That's it.
Why? Like, why'd you love it so much?
Oh, I didn't say I loved it. I think it was just, I think it was worth the watch. I liked it a lot. Because I have been near somebody who's enjoyed Hercule Poirot stories so much, I was like, I want to know what the details are of this. And so I think it's just funny because, like, Hercule Poirot is such a very interesting man himself. To see him, like, in work, like, in this movie visually is, like, really cool.
Poirot was really cool. I love hearing him talk. Everything he said, I'm like, you are a character.
He is an investigator, like, just, like, point blank. Like, he don't have nonsense. He's like, I'm not here to be, like, the greatest detective ever if I'm not always, like, on my toes, like, doing what I do. And a spoiler alert, he does have a ending, but, like, it's just really interesting to see, like, that story, like, pan out. I didn't know anything about this particular story. I think the biggest thing of all, like, I think it's great. I don't think it should be overlooked as, like, that everybody did it. I'm like, whoa, like, that was really crazy. I think that was it hit me towards the end. I was invested, so maybe because I was invested in it, it impacted me. But yeah, like there was just a lot of characters to follow, and if you weren't paying attention, then it would be really hard, because then you'd miss a lot of the things. Like one of the things I caught where I was like, I think I have a piece of the clue, like a clue of who did it. And it was when Hercule woke up in the morning, and then Ratchet was speaking French to Michelle, who was the conductor. And then he said, "It's nothing" in French. But then later on, Josh Gad's character was like, "He don't speak a lick of French." And I'm just like, confirmed. So, like, you know, having those little details, like, drop in here and there and getting them and getting those confirmed were really cool. So for me, it was, like, very entertaining. I think it was worth the watch. I liked it a lot. Even though the characters were kind of, like, crazy, like, in the way that there was so many of them and I had to learn about so many of them, I think it is a lot to follow, but if you're invested in it, then it definitely makes the movie worth it, because then when you find out in the end that they all had a hand, that's fucking wild. That's like the...
I think Poirot is definitely the reason I have any interest in watching the second one, because I do want to watch it, but it's because of him. I think it was great.
We love an investigator. We love a good
He's
detective.
a good character. He's a little kooky.
He's like, use your little gray cells, man. And I'm just like, whoa.
My gray cells?
Your 2 cells?
Sky. I feel like you have a similar opinion as sort of the fleshed out characters, but is there anything else that maybe did not draw you as much? And then as for Antonio, you've said like, oh, you just like it because like it's a murder mystery. And you just
It's a movie.
Really into it.
It's a movie, and like at the end of the day, just put it down. And I was like, I see where you're saying that like they're kind of like not super dimensional characters, not super dynamic or compelling, but I don't need that. I literally am just looking to see a movie at the end of the day. Like I don't have an urge to ever see these characters again. I don't want to connect with them again. I just want to know, hey, how do they match up like pieces of a puzzle? And I think that's what I enjoy about this movie, is that they match up as pieces of the puzzle, and how like some of them, the pieces are on the others, or they're flipped over. Like the professor is really, you know, a Pinkerton or whatever he is. He's a private security detail, and he was actually in love. And like I love seeing them all line up. I'm like, you don't have to be a pretty piece, you just have to be a piece of the puzzle. But Sky, did you have anything else that was like?
No, I like I said, it's all right. I get why you like it. I get why you like it, and I get why you didn't particularly love it. Like I get it. It was an all right movie, but sometimes we love all right movies, and that's
Sometimes
cool.
you want an all right movie.
Yeah, so I get it. For me, it was the characters. I think some of the acting sometimes with the writing was kind of. I was like, this is corny.
It was. Some of it just
so
corny.
like, but I get that like sometimes it's all you want to watch. So I'm not gonna knock it, but it's not for me. I don't think.
I think I'm more like, which we're coming up to is I do. Well, it's actually in 2 points. I love the fucking score.
The score is fucking amazing, and we'll get to that. But we can go down because I feel like there's more stuff we want. I think we want to talk about stuff more in piecemeal here.
It's just a delivery.
I will say, because this isn't one of ours. The Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the camera work was really good.
I do like the camera work. I'm also realizing that he also directed Thor.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is a lot of green screen and CGI. Where have I seen that before? Thor.
Yeah.
But I did like the camera work was really good, especially when they're going in to look at Johnny Depp's body when it's discovered.
The overhead, like the aerial overhead.
I really liked that, and then how it followed him into the room. Like that was cool. I really did enjoy.
Yeah,
all
that was
that.
really
I also
cool.
like that. It's like very good. I think at the point also towards the end when he's making his exit off the train to tell everybody about their
that
piece.
like sweeping following shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that like whole continuous shot. It was very, very good.
It was good. Hot cast, all cast. Y'all know how I feel.
I think it was a solid cast. Now let us go to soundtrack score.
It was a good soundtrack. Well, no, I guess not
love
so
the
much soundtrack, but like the score was very good.
I would listen to that for
But-
fun.
Good job, Chelsea.
You guys were right. Is the piano? Okay, it just keeps going, and like I
You leave
forget about that
piano
sometimes.
alone.
It keeps going. You watch it
I
a second
like it.
time, and then a third time, and you're like, man, this kind of goes on for a while.
It didn't detract from the movie for me. Like,
No,
I
it
noticed
doesn't detract. I like the
I
first time
noticed
it
it.
plays.
And it was good. And even if it did go a little bit long, I think it was needed. I was just like, oh. I even know. I was like, oh, this piano. While I was still hurting and sad. Costume design and set design and location. I liked all of those things. This was a pretty movie.
It's a gorgeous movie. I think that's what I find that it has above the second one. I don't think I care about the costumes quite as much in the second one. This one just seems more like, you have your ballet dancers, your Russian ballet dancers, you have the Russian princess, you have the American businessman. Ratchet said he looks sleazy as hell. Hercule Poirot's iconic mustache, which people didn't like, I guess, in this one. In some of the trivia that I saw, which was like, whatever, it's just a mustache.
It's his mustache.
And it's his mustache. And then the conductor's uniform, the red kimono. Michelle Pfeiffer, literally anytime she's on screen.
The guy, what was his name? Masterman or whatever. He was the butler with the white hair. I don't know, he had a finger wave going on, and I was like, hold on a minute. I'm like, that looks amazing. So they really went all in on every single character. Daisy Ridley's eyebrows looked really, really good in this film.
From the School of Eyebrow Acting.
I like the costume design. Like I said, there was a lot of CGI. But yeah, I like the inside of the train. That was cool. And the tunnel, that was cool.
Y'all got favorite quotes?
Yes. I had to look up the transcript because I could not remember it. I didn't write anything down. Hold on. So if anyone else wants to go. It's the nepotism quote. There it is. He says, "There's an art to nepotism, and you are its Michelangelo." I thought it was a very good line.
I remember that one.
There were so many that I was like, haha, that's funny. I didn't write a single one of them down, nor do I remember, so.
Oh, there's dozens.
That
It's, oh no, we must never speak again. Or we must never meet again. Or there's the one where Penelope Cruz is like, Sin does not agree with me, and then she talks about vices, and he's like, oh, we should never talk again then.
I don't like your face.
That's a good one.
He-
It's a solid
Both
one.
of Johnny Depp. Just straight up, he's just like, I don't like your face.
Same.
And still the mouth opens. That was fun. I like when Michelle Pfeiffer is dressing down Ratchet. She's just like, don't talk to me. And it's fun. I like anyone being torn down a little bit too much.
As a loser, do you think this is worth the hype? Missed out on having not seen this? You know, my answer, I wouldn't recommend it, but I liked it just simply because I love a character. And again, I'm going to watch the second one just based on that alone. But in terms of does everyone need to watch this movie? No, I feel like there's definitely other murder mysteries you can watch instead. Yeah.
Interesting.
Dahlia.
For me, do I think that this movie was worth the hype it received? No, I don't think it was. And I also don't feel like I missed out not having seen this. However, I do love the story. And I am glad that I watched it because I really, really liked it. But I mean, I think if I waited 5 more years, I don't think I would have missed out so much. I think the whole spectacle of it all was finding out that they all did it. And I found out that they all did it. And I was like, and that was good enough for me.
We could have waited 3 to 5 business years.
Yeah, absolutely. I liked it. The end.
I quite enjoyed that. What is that fucking line from Moulin Rouge that the Duke says? Generally, I like it. There it is.
And that concludes this episode of Sit Down Loser. We're watching a movie. See you next time.
Bye,
losers.
I found the song. It is a Quetzal thing. It's "I Won't Complain" by Benjamin Clementine, which I've only probably listened to once. And it's I was really high one night, and I was texting them, and they were like, "Oh, watch this video." And I was like, "Oh, cool." I was it's really sad, and they said if I was a drag king, I would do a freaky lip sync to this, and I said, "Oh my god, Babadook should be the costume."
Yes. So yeah, that's actually the first one on my list because I feel like once I got really high in Tucson and I heard this, and I started lip syncing it to myself in front of the mirror, and I had a moment where I'm like, I could do this, and it's really it's so freaky. Now as the Babadook, so good.
Okay, that's
a
what it was. I was
haunting
like, I could.
performance by Quetzal Ramirez.
Well, we'll have to listen to the song as a group at some point.
Yeah, I was
so
like,
that
I don't
way-
know that song.
You should watch the music. You should watch the.
No,
music
I don't know
video.
it either.
Um,
I don't remember it. I just remember being high and be like, "Oh yeah, you could do this in the Babadook."
It's freaky. He's a freaky guy. I like him. He's shaped like a Babadook. He's very tall and lanky.
you built like a.
Bitch, you built like a Babadook.